talk about that partnership that you guys have, because, people think they just getting married. Oh, this is the love of my life. I'm gonna be with this person. But when you become an entrepreneur, by default, your spouse becomes one as well. So,
Oh yeah.
so what has that been like for you guys, and how you guys been able to work together and still be parents full time, dealing with, with your son and making sure that he's, having everything he needs to have?
Yeah, it's, people say it takes a village, and
Mm,
it truly does. We also have a daughter who in the beginning she said, I don't want anything to do with this. She's an adult and she's older than my son. And I never expected her to do it or take it over. But it was funny. I something just happened and she jumped into the business and is helping right along. Um, but with my husband, it's funny because that's one of the biggest things I tell parents, especially people with children who have a disability. It's not easy with two people or a village to raise a child or a person with disabilities. And a lot of times people lose focus on the marriage and what's important.
yeah.
And that's one of the things that we've always done, was made sure that he and I come first, because if that isn't strong, then the rest of it won't be. It will fall apart. And I tell people, there's going to be days that you might not like that person. You might get mad at them. And, we've been married almost 29 years. And yeah, it's not an easy road to go down. But you have to learn how to say please, thank you, and sorry, um, a
I
lot.
love that.
And, there's a lot of times that I'm a very stubborn person. I've always been, and thankfully, he realizes that sometimes, and realizes that, okay, just turn around and walk away and then come back, and he's forgiving. And I've learned that through him, um, because it isn't. You're not always right. Um, and sometimes the fight that you might get into because you think you are, because you have other things on your plate, you're frustrated about things, you have to step back and go, okay, do we need to get this solved? Do we need to go down this road and do it peacefully? Or do we need to get into a fight and fight about what we believe in, that kind of thing? Is it worth it? No, it's not. And, it's funny. My mother-in-law told me something a long time ago. She learned, you don't fight every battle, because the one you really need to win is not going to be won because you fought every
Yeah.
battle, and there's no significance to that one. And it's funny because ever since then there hasn't been any battles that have even been worth fighting.
Shout out to
So,
mom for that. Yeah. Shout out
oh
to
my God,
mom for
yeah,
that.
she's an amazing woman. But it's just working together and realizing, um, you're the reason we have a family is because of the two of us.
Yeah.
And without him, my life wouldn't be what it is today. And I think he'd say the same thing. And, it's just important to make sure that we're strong so that the rest of it will work.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I wanted to put some emphasis on that, and I'm bouncing around a little bit because, that stops. And I put that in my last book. If you don't get the buy-in from your spouse, it can make your business journey hell. And if you guys aren't on the same page, because it's going to be hell anyway, but you rather go through hell with somebody as opposed to, having another enemy that you got to lay in the bed with.